Hi, good morning. I want to talk to you today about awakening the soul. And it's a sunny day here today in Colorado, and as many days are. And what I often think about when the sun shines is it makes me think about us as a soul, how bright we shine, how beautiful, how magnificent that we really are in our true nature. The sun makes me think this. It somehow makes people feel lifted up in a sort of way in a bright sunny day. Just makes us feel different than a drab kind of gloomy day. And so today it made me think about wanting to talk about the soul and tell or talk about there are 3 types of souls. And some people know this, but some people do not. And so I'm going to speak for a few minutes today about that. So there are 3 types. There are earth-based souls. There are interplanetary or interdimensional souls. And then there are souls that come from the angelic realm. All 3 exist on our earth today. The majority of souls are earth souls. And what that means specifically is that this is a soul that incarnates time after time on the earth. They may have incarnated several times elsewhere, but the majority of time they spend on earth. And they go through their evolution. They start out very young, as we all do. All souls start out from the beginning, from source. We're sort of the spark of light, or what I like to think as little grains of sand on a beach. And the whole beach makes up everything. But individually, we are a particle or a piece of sand on the beach. So earth souls start out that way, and then we grow and evolve time after time and become very wise and spend time incarnating to share with younger souls. So this is the basis of an earth-based soul. An interplanetary soul or an interdimensional may have a few times they incarnate on the earth, but their primary is that they are from elsewhere. Where they're from is all over the place, all over the cosmos. And they also go to different places in the cosmos to learn and grow and evolve, and may come here that depends how often they come as to what their essence is and what they choose as a mission. And then there are the angelic realm souls, and so they specifically come to earth, although they are from the angelic realm, and they spend their time on earth educating and helping souls grow here. But they are from the angelic realm. And I'll also mention, as I will again in another recording, when I talk a little more about the angelic realm, is that there is a council that has been formed specifically for Earth, in the way that we are in the time that we're in this great plan that is going on right now, and that we are requiring the help from the angelic realm. So there you have it, 3 types of souls. So why is this important? Well, it is very important to know who you are. So many talk about this. Why is this important to know who we are? It helps us understand ourselves when we know where we're from and the essence of our soul and why we are here. And it is important for us to realize that we are connected and to know who we're connected to and to understand more of that. So why is that important? Well, we then get a feeling within ourselves once we have a knowledge of who we are, then that we're on the right track, that we're going about the right thing in our life. Because what I'm hearing from so many is that I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing. I'm not sure I really know myself. I want to know myself more. I feel that I'm here for other purposes or greater purposes. So when we know who we are and where we come from and why we're here, it helps us with knowing that we're on the right track. And then when things in life happen, it also helps us understand why they are happening. It tells us, well, this is our purpose, and this is why this is happening, to help us realize more of our purpose and to help us fulfill that purpose. Maybe within your own purpose and also as a collective purpose. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about, and I'm going to speak specifically about myself. As I've done many regressions with people, it's always easiest to speak personally, so I'm going to just talk a little bit about that for just a moment. So I'm an interdimensional or interplanetary. My majority of my soul energy is from Arcturus, and I did not know this a good portion of my life, but I always wanted to know. I always felt that I didn't belong, as many people do, especially the interdimensionals. And so it was important for me to find out where my tribe was. Who am I originally from? Why do I feel the way I do? I had so many questions when I was young, and so what was important for me was to understand this more, and through my deep meditation and guiding myself into these deeper places and connecting and helping others connect, this is how we can open this. We come through our high self, which connects us to that which wants to speak to us. And I was directed to the Arcturian commander. And this began to open up information for me. I could ask questions about Arcturus. I could ask questions about how it related to me. I began to understand what that system is about and how they live and their culture. This was important to me. I wanted to know this. And as we are human, we have in our nature curiosity. We want to know more. So then I began to understand more also, as others do, through the regression and through deep meditation, understanding about my contract, my soul contract. Now, personally, my soul contract is that I actually exist on the starship, on the Starfleet, and I, with them, go place to place, helping other systems, other planets, other souls evolve. And so my learning here on Earth is very important. I always, or for a long time, knew that I was sort of what I would call a scout in understanding what happens here and then taking it elsewhere. But I wanted to know more. And so by understanding that my mission, along with others on that particular ship, and I'm going to just stop there for a minute and explain, there are many planetary system leaders and others that exist on that ship. It is not just the Arcturians. It is sort of the United Nations of interplanetaries. And so by knowing that I go from place to place each lifetime and help others evolve, what is important is understanding the evolutionary process, which is why I'm a practitioner. So it gives me a great understanding, and I can experience it with other people. So that helps me understand it. Also in the fact that why do we experience the pain that we do? That helps me understand also, so I can move through that and help others move through it. So through my own experience, I get to help others. The picture began to open up. My understanding just began to open up. And for me, it was a wow, because now I could really understand who I am and why I exist and where I come from and why I'm here. It just makes it easier to understand and deal with what goes on in the world. So now I have deeper conviction that I'm fulfilling what I'm doing here. And through doing these deep meditations and regressions, I also get an opportunity to help other people feel this fulfillment. And if they're not on the right path, they will move more toward their path. It just changes a person. And that's how I can explain it. It just changes you. It also gives you an opportunity to connect and recognize your tribe and know why you're drawn to what you're drawn to. There's so many people that I talk to that tell me they're drawn to the cosmos, and sometimes they don't know why. So it's a development of why you feel what you feel, because we do have that curiosity. So just a minute, want to explain that our soul is more than just one species. We are hybrids. We are multi-species for a reason. Just like there are minimal people that exist on the earth that are completely just one ethnicity or one specific. We, most of the time, are what I call or refer to as being a mutt. We are a combination. And so we are within our soul structure too. And it's important to understand, because maybe you have a dominating, as most of us do, but you are other parts too. And that gives reason why things happen, or why you also have other little pieces that pop up from time to time. So within your person. So how do we learn a lot of this information? Well, many people can access this information from doing their deep guided meditations. We go from the conscious brain waves to the slower brain waves, which then allows the mind, the chatter of the mind, of your consciousness, to kind of step aside. And so then you can access your subconscious, your super consciousness, which is your higher self, and then step into other realms also. So what allows us to do this is doing a past life or a between lives soul regression, or a future life soul regression. So this will afford you that opportunity, and one where you can put together questions, and I will ask these questions on your behalf and begin to guide this information to be opened and available for you. So now I'm just going to spend a moment and mention that I'm doing a retreat in mid-October. And I'm putting this out because I've been reminded that there are many of us who are really craving, wanting to do a retreat, to submerge ourselves in a place where we can find our new self, build a new story, illuminate to what is really who we are, to elevate our frequency, to connect to the interdimensionals that exist in this place. And this place that I'm doing this retreat is in the Crystal Mountains of Arkansas. This happens to be a hub or a conference center for the interdimensionals. There are many that come to conference together there, so much the way they do up on the starship on planet Earth, and there are other places. This happens to be one of those places. But this is not a place that is very well known at all, much like the way we know about Sedona or Machu Picchu or other places on Earth. This is sort of what I call a well-kept secret, but not intentionally. This place I will share with you. I was there a couple years ago, and one night I was sleeping. And I was woken by a little creature, a little being, that woke me and said to me, and I was sort of groggy as we are when we wake up, and it said to me, "Go back to sleep. I am doing a healing for you." And I felt so blessed. I felt so amazing being in this place and grateful that those who are there are so willing to help us and share with us and help us elevate. They want this for us. And so I'm offering this opportunity for us to do this. So if this is something that seems of intrigue to you or tickles you, I would invite you to go to my website, wellnesswithin.net, and you'll find it in this information on my YouTube. Or you can Google me, or you can find me at the website. So I hope you'll think about it, because if it intrigues you to elevate your soul to a higher frequency, this particular retreat will do just that. So we'll be doing a lot of guided meditations and deep work, and they will be working with us. So hand in hand, I so look forward to facilitating this and growing together. Thanks so much for being with me today on this beautiful sunny day and sharing just a little bit about the awakening of the soul and what that entails. Thanks again. See you soon.